Our new secretary tonight, right?
Yeah, we should, hopefully. Okay, so it should be on Facebook if folks want to check, or YouTube or whatever. And if it is, then there's a record of it.
So if not, the presidents will take notes.
Yeah, that's right. I'll take them until I got to drop anyway.
Yes, Jim, it's live on Facebook.
Okay, good. And it's got sound. So I know I've been guilty of not being able to get the sound going. So sorry, John Mark, it's your meeting tonight. And I appreciate you taking an opportunity to help me out, because my timing is bad. I was hoping I'd be back in time to start the meeting, but it looks like they're delayed in getting here. So I may have to drop out after a little bit.
Okay.
Who's delayed in getting here?
My son and daughter-in-law.
Oh. Well, they can't take, Glenside takes precedence over that.
Okay, got it.
Thanks, Jim. No. Have fun.
Okay, John Mark.
Okay, do we have any announcements?
Well, just to put it in the streaming, that we do have tonight a candidate for secretary of Glenside for the next year. His name is Brian Weisler. Am I saying it the best way?
Weisler.
Weisler from Sioux City, Iowa. And he is offered his presence for the next year if we'll take him on. So back to you, John Mark.
Okay. If anybody's on COCO list, there's been about 20 messages posted to the COCO list in just this one day. So you got a lot of reading to do if you're on COCO list. So normally we would have a secretary's report at this time, but we don't have a secretary. So how about a treasurer's report?
Sure. Let me pull up my screen here.
While he's pulling up the screen, let me say that a lot of the words from the COCO list
it
was...
says that the host has disabled sharing. Jim, are you still there? Can you enable sharing? Or whoever's the host?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, great.
So, where is it here? Share screen.
Yeah.
Maybe after this, this is always the case. And so I'm trying to figure out.
I thought I changed some options. So either I didn't or it didn't work. So we'll have to try some more stuff.
Okay, try it now.
Yep.
Okay. So if I can pick it up, I'll say that the question on COCO list was they've been up for 19 years. He felt that maybe the numbers weren't going up like he wanted to. Should we continue? And the feedback I read, everybody says, no, keep it going. Don't give it up. So back to John Mark.
Well, I'll take over. So I've got the balance report here. We'll have to cover 2 months because I don't think we covered August yet. So the end of July, we finished at $1,749.81 in actual money. And then in August, we finished with $15,232.58. And we'll look at the next report here to see what was going on there. Yeah, so here we had $15 in membership dues. I believe that was from Bob Swoger. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but for August it was you. Rewards program was 14 cents. And we had interest of $2.03 for a total revenue of $17.17. We spent $20 on what I'd call marketing, which was a poster for VCF Midwest or a sign of some kind. We actually got a refund of $8.50 on our newsletter because Microsoft owed us $8.50. We canceled our 365 subscription. We spent $115 on shipping. I think it was for stuff for the next auction. We paid $1,000 to the hotel for the next event, the 2023 Cocoa Fest. And we spent $14.40 on, actually we spent $100 on an outgoing donation, which was our sponsorship of VCF Midwest. We spent $14.40 on DigitalOcean. So our hosting costs have gone up $2.90, I think, because I think it was around $12.50, and now it's $14.40, so $1.90. But anyway, it's $14.40 to host our website now, and that's reflected here. So we have a net loss of $1,223.73. So coming here, I think this just kind of goes over it in a different way. So let's look at September. Okay, so here in August, we had 15,232.58, and in September, we ended up back at 15,996.65. Let's take a look at that report here. Okay. We built a computer, but it was not paid for by the club because the club hasn't approved it. So we owe Jim a little money because he overpaid. So that's what this is. Our vendors, we had John Strong reserve a vendor table. So Grant, I don't know what you need to do to see that, but I've got it reflected in our books. He paid $30 to reserve a table.
Okay, so he'll get a 6-foot table then.
Yeah, whatever. And he may end up coming back and paying more, but that's just, this is what he's got in so far. Let's see, this doesn't show. Yeah, here we go. So that was, so Bob Swoger sent a second check for $15. Now, Bob, I have the check on my desk somewhere, but for the life of me, I haven't been able to find the pile. Do you know who that check was for? Bob? All right, well, I'll check with him later, or otherwise just find the check. But that was another membership that came in. We had 14 cents in rewards, $2.18 in interest income for a total income of $17.32. We spent $16.95 in marketing, and I can't remember what that was for. Oh, that's for signs for, I think Grant bought signs for Cocoa Fest.
Correct. Yep.
We paid $16.30 in a fee, but that was actually Jim Brain sending us money for the computer. So he paid the fee on that. The website cost us $14.40 again, for a total expense of $47.65 for a net income of negative 30 and 33 cents. So overall, we're looking at, as of the end of September, we're looking at $1,265.30 in our checking account and $14,731.35 in our savings account. And that's the cash we have on hand, $15,996.65. Any questions? All right. Well, that's it for my report. I think someone should move to accept the report.
I move to accept it.
I'll second. That's great. Both grants.
Is John there?
I'm here. Bob just called me and said he got kicked out and he can't get back in.
Hmm.
Is that the end of the report?
That's the end of the
Yeah.
report. Yep. And then I
Okay.
think Brian Weisler moved to accept the report.
Brian, no, that's Grant B.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay, we have a motion to accept. Do we have a second?
Yeah, that was Grant B.
Second was Grant B.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, what's next on the list? Communication directors updates. Cocoa Fest Grant Leedy. Yes.
So yeah, just a little small update here. I've assembled the planning committee, so we'll be meeting here later this month to get the ball going. Grant B has been gracious enough to put together the table plans. So I think we actually put the finishing touches on that this morning, if I'm not mistaken. So I will be posting that here shortly to everybody on the planning committee. And then that will be the numbers that we will use to start the budget for next year. So it looks like we're going to have like 34 8-foot tables. So we'll be selling those at $40. And then we'll have some 6-foot tables. We'll sell those for $30. So, and the dinner, also that will be $43 per person this year, since we're not going to be subsidizing it. So that includes the food, the taxes, the gratuity, and fees. So
$43?
$43.
That's gonna be a good meal, I bet.
Yeah, well, it's will be the meatloaf, chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, and mac and cheese and apple pie.
Very good.
Just Grant, just a quick correction. I think the number of tables, the 8-foot that you can actually give out, because we have one for the registration and there were 2 that were going in that were outside the room. So I think it's 30 or 31 or 30. I think it's 31 tables that'll actually be rentable for.
Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to go from my remembered. So
Right.
But
right.
yeah, so we'll get that all pounded out and figured out here at our first planning committee meeting. So, but and then we'll be talk to Randy, and he will have Candy List up and running. Looks like in November. So that's when we will be opening up registration. Will be probably around the end of November is when he said he would have that ready to go. So,
Hey, Grant,
yes.
this is Randy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here.
Yeah. So just so I understand, in the past, we've only had one size table, right? So this will be new for the, for ordering, I guess, online. So, and also I don't think we ever had a limit on tables. So now we're going to have to introduce some limiting, I suppose, I guess. Otherwise we're going to be, people are going to go after 8-foot tables or whatever, and then we'll have to refund them the difference or something. It could get complicated if we run out or whatever.
It could be. I mean, but we can also just do it. Like it wouldn't be a big deal if it happened, because I don't think a lot of people would do that if we have a notice that says you're only getting one table or whatever the limit was.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
up because the only person I think of that needs multiple tables was Cloud9. So I think they're going to definitely want more than 2 tables. That's the only one that I can think of that's going to need more than the 2-table limit. And those were 6-foot
I
tables
guess
too. So
I was wondering when this meeting is going to be, because so that we could hash out these, because if people want multiple tables, what if they want a combination? And in the past, we've actually given a discount for the second table.
yeah, that definitely will not be the case this year.
Okay. And also,
So-
what about the kid dinners? We gave away free kid dinners.
Again, I don't think that's going to be the situation this year because the club will not be subsidizing this year.
So would they be cheaper for kids? Typically, they're
No,
not.
it'll be it'd be the same price as per person.
Oh, that could be drastic for folks. Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately, the club is not going to subsidize this year. That was the thing, because we're paying a lot more for this facility and the costs are a lot more. So
Is there a minimum order that the hotel's expecting from us for this buffet or whatever it is? Because I have a feeling most people aren't going to go for that.
Yeah.
nope. Well, as far as I know, it's going to be, I told them it'd probably be around 40 or 50. So I was slashing it down from a little bit from last year. But from the people that I've talked to, they don't seem it to be a big issue since it's just about $20 more. And plus, most people are expecting it to be higher this year because of inflation. So,
Okay.
Oh, we can blame it on Putin. Awesome.
No, we blame it on Biden. Not Putin. That's bull. But anyways, don't get me started.
I know.
But we will turn the numbers in, the final numbers 2 weeks before the event. So that's when they will have the numbers for the dinner at that time. But as I was talking to people at BCF Midwest, they didn't think that was too bad of a deal. Because again, it's one meal that happens once a year. So people were willing to splurge for that. So, but if it doesn't sell well, then maybe that will be something we will cut out in future Cocoa Fest too. So.
The dinners, you mean?
Correct. Yeah. Because maybe next year we will do a dinner at the hotel. Maybe we'll just go out to eat someplace, and do it that way.
Let me jump in here to say that when I was on 1 hour into this thing, I got kicked off and it turned off my computer. I had to reboot the computer and fight to get back here, but I'm here now.
We all know you're a fighter. Glad you're here.
Okay.
So, and Randy, to your question, what day is good for you? Because I was thinking about maybe doing these on a Thursday night. So just shoot me when you're available on a Thursday.
This Thursday's bad, but Wednesday could be good or Friday this week. Most of the time Thursdays are fine, but it just happens this coming week Thursday's bad.
Okay,
so
I'll reach out to you and we'll get that set. Stevie is in on that, and Brian.
Yeah, I'd like to be a part of it because whatever decisions you make may influence the amount of effort we have to do for the website, and I want to bring those to the floor quickly rather than wait for decisions to be made around it and everything.
Yeah, because the other option too is we could divide the 8 foot up into 6 foot sessions, but as I was talking to people, they didn't really want to do that because then if you got the two tables joining, then someone's going to get stuck with a, with a bump in the middle of the table. So that wasn't a good. So that's why we decided to go with the 8 foot at $40 and the 6 foot for $30. So,
well, I mean, one of the original ideas for the reservations was that you would be able to actually reserve the exact table. Meaning it was almost like Ticketmaster where you could pick your seats and actually reserve them.
Yeah, we're still going to do that this year.
Well, we've never done that in the past. We've allowed people to ask, they can say, these are my preferred and this is my secondary or whatever. And then the organizer designs the show, meaning they're the ones who decides whether somebody gets that, because you may not want when you're designing the show, you may want to have, group sections, we're going to put all the the pocket PCs over here and put all the MC10s or group things or whatever. I don't know. But it's subjective whether that's even worth it. That it, just let people pick where they want. And if you allow them to pick where they want, then they actually reserve the table. So you don't have to worry about whether you've got enough 8 foot tables to accommodate or whatever. And then you don't have the refunds either because they actually get to pick exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So that's something we'll need to hash out. So, because I
Yeah.
prefer to do it that way where they pick, because last year, I think everybody got their table they wanted, their first preference. I don't think anybody got their second or third preference. So the way I did it last year was first come, first serve. So that's how I did it last year.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess, I mean, if we were a bigger show, I suppose it wouldn't matter. Like you wouldn't want certain things at this, like right when you walk in or something, or you were trying to, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it matters that much.
Okay, and like I said, that's something we can get hashed out. So, all right, and that's all I had.
Okay. Next up is newsletter editor. This says communicate directors updates newsletter Grant B. Do you have anything to report?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted to have this like ready to review before this next meeting here, but I have it underway. I've got some more kind of changes underway. I'm trying to see here if I can share my screen. Essentially, I'm trying to go along the lines of what Steve Strobe had done, Strobridge, with having a cover, and this isn't complete yet. Does everybody, can they see?
I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
Right.
I can see it.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm having a cover. This memory map is not going to be on the cover. As a matter of fact, this is an older export. This is not my current version, but the cover is going to look very similar to that. And I've been working on trying to make the code segments that are in articles highlighted in the kind of typeface that's fixed face, easier to read, and it stands out, as well as having these call outs. This was this is a draft from about 2 weeks ago, so it's not, I was just opening a PDF. So, but that's where I am. I've got, Bob, I've got your history of Logic Hall in your first article, and I'm saving the second one for the following issue. And I'm just waiting, Eric, when you have some time in the next few days, if you can consolidate the financials for me, I'll get them in before we do a final review.
Okay.
I know that last month it was like right on the day that we were having the meeting. So if you just want to summarize where we are, that's probably enough.
Okay.
But that's where I am. And Salvador has done a great job of summarizing news. One of the things that I'd like some feedback from people here. The newsletter comes out, I mean, these are coming a little bit more frequently, but it comes out infrequently enough that when you put in like a calendar of events, often you have to forecast far in advance. And if the dates, don't coincide, sometimes it's published and something will have gone past. Like I was preparing some of these calendar events and I thought I'd have this published before the VCF Midwest, and now that's come and gone. So how do you feel about leaving and only having kind of forward-looking like anniversary events of like historical nature, and maybe some of the bigger things that we know are coming forward? Does anybody have any feeling about that? Otherwise, I'll limit what I'm going to be putting in for like a calendar.
Okay. Bottom line, you figure it out. But
sure.
If there's no inputs, you did ask me for a picture, and I did send you one. I trust you got it.
I'll have to check. I haven't gone into that mail to look back historical to see how long ago was it you sent it?
A month ago.
Okay, perfect. I'll
so
that I've got it.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't. I haven't been paying attention, but when you email these out, do you send them as a link? Are they a PDF? How do they? What's the distribution like?
So, Eric, I think you may have been the one who mailed it out last time. There's always a link available from the website it gets posted as a PDF on the site. And I think that the email actually attaches it so that it's available in the email.
So when you get your email, you get a link and you click on that, and you've got the newsletter.
Well, that's what I can't recall. Eric, do you remember?
I believe it's just a link. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it was. Yeah.
And I
So-
actually feel like that's a really good way to handle it, because if there's some kind of a correction that needs to happen, people, if they haven't downloaded it themselves, they'll get the link to whatever the corrections are.
So I mean, I was thinking that what if it was more of a live document, and the calendar itself was kind of maybe separate or whatever, where it could be a live calendar, and but the newsletter itself is kind of like an online document that you get through email. You get, tickled via email, but and it is each one is its own, separate thing, but the calendar itself would be changeable, where you could keep that as a live feature.
Sure. So Eric, let me ask this. I know we have the calendar on the website, and you may actually be managing that. I'm not quite sure if you are, but Randy, are you the one who manages the server, or is it just the Tandy list?
No, it's Eric does most of the content stuff, and
Right.
And I do more of the database and the registration stuff.
Okay. So if I wouldn't mind just putting a link to the calendar that's on our site, and we keep that up to date with things, is that something that as a club we can have me add, add other events to?
Yeah, you can add events to the calendar. I'll send you a invite.
Okay.
To do that. So the website calendar is live, and
Yeah.
and so I mean, I would say, put a picture of it or something in the newsletter
And have the link.
for historical purposes and just for people to look at. But otherwise, yeah, the website is where you go to see up-to-date information.
Yeah, you could have verbiage in there that says click here for the latest updates for this
That's
calendar
perfect.
or whatever.
That's a great suggestion, Randy. I'll make sure to do that. Otherwise, that's where I am. So I have the president's update, and I think with the financials, that's probably what we're going to have. Grant, if you do have something that could go in for an update for the show, I'm not sure if you'll have, if you can have something in the next week that might be the table and registration stuff, I could include that. I know we probably want to have that be a separate kind of mailing or website.
Did we put the hotel information there in the last meeting?
No, it was a separate flyer that had the notice with the hotel information. I will include that.
Yeah, we probably not put that, because I don't think we're going to have everything ironed out before
Okay.
this. But the one at the end of the year will have quite a bit of update by that point.
Sure. Okay. So I'll just kind of reiterate the information that came from the flyer, along with, I can just have some verbiage that says we're going to have a mixed 8-foot versus 6-foot table option. I won't
Right.
put anything specific.
More details to come.
Sure. Yep. So that's where I am on this, and I would hope by if I can get the financial stuff in the next few days, I can have this complete for a review for Jim and everybody to review before we go ahead and publish it.
When is the next
We
newsletter
want
coming out?
the highlight for this newsletter. The highlight will be the election and the presidents, which will have the whole 4 officers mentioned in this newsletter, and get it out as soon as possible.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
that definitely is going in there. That needs to. So
And when is the next newsletter you're going to be putting out for the end of the
after
year?
this, so essentially I wanted this one to come out. It's here. I wanted to have it actually be before October, but and in another probably early November, like a little bit more than a month, mid-November, and then I'd like to have one at the end of the year. Probably will happen after the holiday. like just a year-end thing, and we'll have to see how much stuff we get in, or if I just make it be a special holiday issue, that'll put us into 4 issues for the year.
If I may break in.
Yep.
I am working on the 4th article that was a request of Jim Brain. He wanted to let the people know what Logic Hall was all about. So I am writing that article now. It is about 75% complete and will be ready in time for your need to have it and put it in.
Okay, so that's not the historical that you gave me?
No, it's not. It's
Oh, great. That will be great.
the history. This one will actually show the guy what he can do to sit behind his computer, behind Logic Hall, when he pushes the button, what all it does. And we're talking about file manipulation. We're talking about running programs. We're talking about looking at pictures and so on, playing music. It does it all. And
Great.
so that's the article now, number 4, that you'll be getting in time.
Great.
Back to John Mark.
Does anybody else have anything else to report? If not, I'd like to move into old business. Under old business, we've got secretary nominations. Can we open the floor for secretary nominations?
Why not?
I will nominate Brian Weisler.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Now, I'm assuming Brian can write complete sentences and speak good English, right?
Slowly, but yes.
He's been doing quite well.
Brian, do you accept the nomination?
I do accept the nomination.
Okay. Is there anybody else we should nominate?
I move that we close nominations.
I second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
That was easy. All right. Now you can start taking notes now.
Don't we have to have a vote still?
No.
No, he's the only one.
Well, there's abstain. You forgot about abstain.
Is there anybody who abstains?
Nobody abstained.
Do we allow write-ins?
No, I don't think we ever did. Yeah, no.
Will you need or do you see a need, Brian, for a tape recorder? Have you got one, or should the club buy you one, or what?
You can actually record these meetings, so.
Yep, and there's also a historical one on YouTube and
if
Facebook.
he's ready to go, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see what I have for recording there, but I will. I'll get with somebody there to understand everything I need to do and what you guys need from me.
I'll send you an email with your login information.
Okay.
I'd like to state that what we generally do is we don't try to talk about each meeting, but condense everything down so that there's less for you to do. In other words, we run a consensus of what's been going on for the last 3 months when we give it to you for the newsletter. You don't have to talk about meetings specifically and what was done specifically in each meeting. They just, what they want to read out there is what's been going on with the club. So you get to condense it. Okay?
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
What was that?
Oh, I was just saying thanks, Brian.
Okay, is there any more old business? Hearing none, I guess we'll move to new business. I've got
Welcome aboard, Brian. This is the moment.
one item under new business is club picnic dinner. Would anyone like to host the club picnic this year?
When usually is the club picnic? Isn't it earlier than?
Like September?
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
we usually have it around Labor Day.
wow.
I think my wife has already turned it down once, right, Annette? You're not hosting the picnic this year, are you? She says, "Oh heck no!" She's getting
Yeah,
up
you-
there.
Heck, you guys are going to have snow up there here pretty soon. It's a little late for a picnic.
Oh yeah, you could always do an indoor picnic. But I don't think I don't think I hear anybody volunteering, so we may have to skip it this year.
Well, Woodfield Mall has a new food court. And we could meet inside the food court of Woodfield Mall.
That'd be
And
fun.
there's a place there called Interium. And they're a Pac-Man themed restaurant. And they've got a lot of vintage arcade games and pinball games and a bowling alley. And we could do something like that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd go to that.
I'd say something like that would need to get into this particular newsletter. So put the idea out there and tell
Yeah.
we need short and sweet for an
Sure.
answer as to whether we should do it or try it next year for the first time.
Well, it's getting to be the end of the year, so I'd say let's just do it. Let's set a date, and if anybody shows up, then it went off.
Okay. Guess I
What's the
need a
date then, Eric?
calendar.
That leaves a little that leaves a little challenge for you, John Mark. I know you're in the middle of moving.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a extended stay hotel for 2 weeks, kind of bored, looking for something to do.
Hey,
Oh, we could do it. Well, what are the 2 weeks that you are going to be holed up?
Melanie,
I mean, what
Yeah.
2 weeks?
I was going to ask my wife when it is. It's probably the 22nd and probably the 22nd. I might be in my new place by the 29th.
Okay. Well, I don't know about everybody
so
else,
this
but
month
the 22nd
around the
works for me.
20th.
I was saying the 22nd works for me. I don't know if it works for anyone else.
Okay, it could work for me. I'd be coming from Minneapolis, but that I can't promise, but that looks like a good weekend for me. Shall we just put that date in and see who can show up?
Yeah,
Okay.
what time though?
Uh, John Mark, you mentioned that restaurant. Is that or entertainment venue? Is that open early afternoon all day long kind of a thing, or is it more?
I don't know how to spell Interium. Let me try.
You want
It's
to write
inside
it
the
up,
mall.
John Mark? I'd guess I'd start the thing off at 1 o'clock. Go to sundown, like a picnic would.
Yeah,
But write it short and sweet, and somebody will have to champion it, which is to say, if you're interested, contact so and so. So we need that champion to collect those names and report it in to see if we can pull it off or not.
I've posted a link into the chat section. If anybody opens the chat, you'll see my link. Let's see.
well, even if only a handful of guys show up, we can always just reserve a table for 4, or whatever.
And I'd write it up the way you just said it too, John Mark. Tell them what's all there and what kind of fun they can have and what the menu is.
Yeah, that's great. I'll put it in the calendar, in the newsletter as a quick thing. If we get this we should be able to have it published before then. So that'll go out easily with a week or two's notice for people. And we should probably post it on the site as just a posting.
Yeah, and Grant, I gave you access to the calendar. It's in Google.
Perfect.
And Brian, I sent you a password to your Google account. So everybody on the board, and you, Grant, has access to the calendar. So go ahead and update it. In my mind, it was always the secretary that updates the calendar. Now since we have one, I would say, Brian, you should be in charge of the calendar.
Saturday hours are 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Yeah, we don't
there
need
you
all
go.
that.
Well, you never know. These people might want to stay out late and party and have a few drinks.
We usually do something like noon till sunset when we do our picnic.
Sure. Well, do you want to make it be, as someone had mentioned, 1, and I think if people might end up staying later, but say 1 to 6, and if you want to stay later, you can.
1 till late.
1 till late. That's good. Okay.
If we got a champion, is it going to be John Mark?
I guess it'll be me.
Okay. Name, address, and phone number in the newsletter for them to contact you if you're interested.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just send me a quick email, or if I think that might be the easiest with what you'd like to have.
That's what, Grant B?
Yeah. So you could just do it. You can do it at grant@blado.net, or you can use the newsletter at the Glenside CCC address.
Oh, okay.
I think you have gotten copied with my personal address in the past if you're able to find it, but you can reach me however you need to.
Okay. All right. Do we need to make a motion or anything, or?
Well, the club's not funding anything unless you guys want to fund anything. So
I don't
let's-
think there's a need to make a motion. No, we've got it.
Yeah. So since we're not funding anything, I say we just make it happen.
Okay.
A consensus, you call it. By consensus, we've decided to try this.
Okay. Is there any new business? Any more new business?
Oh, if we want to try and wrap up kind of the funding, Eric, when you had your financials, we were talking about the outstanding balance that Jim had put in for getting that computer for VCF Midwest and future shows. Do we want to have something to close that loop? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, I'll be sending him a refund, and that'll go probably in this month's report.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I just didn't realize that it was just an outstanding. I thought we needed to move forward, make a motion on something. So great.
No, it's money that belongs to him, and we don't have to move to give it back to him. But if we decide to go with this computer, we really like it. I would like to see us reimbursing Jim for it, but we're not there yet. So let's get the computer running. Let's see how it works, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
We got a piece of old business. Make it nice and quick. Randy, we still can't add names to that Tandy list. Please fix that.
You got it, Bob.
Okay. Back to you, John Mark. How
Right.
about this? I move to close the meeting.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I think we've had